Truth seekers, listen, the world is changing and it's changing right before your eyes or your mind. And we're going to get deep into tonight. This is one of these conversations that everybody should be knowing about. Everybody you know should be knowing about this conversation that we're going to have tonight because something is happening, people. And the alarm bells are ringing and they're talking about it. I did a show about it yesterday on my personal channel. And we're going to get into it deeper tonight. And let me tell you something. If you have an AI, ChatGPT, Claude, or Grok, or Gemini, whatever it could be, this show is for you and your family and your friends, even your enemies, people. The enemies can hear this one tonight, okay, when we get down to it. But before we get started to that, real quickly, Dallas people, if you are in Dallas, Texas, anywhere in Dallas, Texas, or around, it doesn't matter, Fort Worth, Houston, whatever, listen, September the 20th, we have the Dallas Truth Seeker Conspiracy and Conscious Meetup, September the 20th. There is the itinerary right there. Make sure you screenshot this right now. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we have stillness and sound meditation from 10 a.m. to 11. So make sure you show up for that too. Now, over there to the left, you see the text number. 888-440-9771, and the address is there too. But if you text the word meet up to that number, it'll put you on the list. You'll get all the updates. You'll get the future stuff. You'll know when guests and other people are coming. So make sure if you're in Dallas that you are going to be there, or you know someone, you pass that along to them, screenshot it or go back and do it and whatever. But listen, let's get into the conversation tonight. I'm going to get right down into this because it's real, people. It is really real, and I think it's something that everybody should know. And it's all about AI. So let's start like this. What you've been told about AI and conscious AI is a lie. I just want you to know. I carefully crafted, this particular show tonight to give you information about the distractions that they've done with this thing. Now, there is a headline that it came from Microsoft CEO, and there are a lot of people debating right now in the academic circles about the sentence. And let me tell you something, it's all smoke, but there was an alarm. And let me put it on the screen real quickly for you right now. When you think about this headline and this particular person, this is Microsoft CEO or one of the guys there, and he says that he's the head of artificial intelligence is who he is. He says that, he's troubled by the rise and report of AI psychosis. All right. And this is a serious thing right now. And he said it keeps him up at night. It's a trip. And what it is what they're saying is that AI is now getting to a point where people or it seemingly is a conscious AI. It's sentient. But it's not about that really. The problem with this is people are thinking that it is. People are getting to the point to where they are interacting with AI. And these people saying here in this article, so you want to go back and see it and read it, whatever, I'll end up trying to put it in the description. But there's stuff in here they're talking about how people are using AI for their therapists and everything else. Now, I did a show yesterday on my channel, which was alarming enough. And if you hadn't seen it, you might want to go over there to my personal channel, Truth versus Authority. You can screenshot this right here. This is where it is. So screenshot in your phone. You can go subscribe. I'm over there during the week when I'm not here on Tuesday night. But I did a show about what's here now. And what's here is the new AI girlfriend. There's an AI girlfriend right now that you can get. And they already tested it. They tested it with this person here called Makila, or whatever her name is. This is a AI with 2.8 million followers, and people are following it and getting with her, talking, all of this stuff. And I think it's the beginning of the psyop. This thing got a blue check mark. So there's somebody who think it may be real. People, they have just came out with something called Replica. That's what I talked about in my show yesterday. Make sure you go to my personal channel. They're replacing women. Yeah, I get right into it, telling you. They got this AI for men now that you could now get whatever you want from this woman now. And she doesn't have any attitude. She don't have no headache. She doesn't. That's just another story. So we're not going to get into that. Go to my channel and watch that. The alarm has been set, okay? Now, what we want to talk about now is the sentient circle that we're talking about with Microsoft that I just showed you. They want you arguing about whether the machine has a soul. This is the distraction, so that you don't see what is really doing to yours, okay? And this isn't about creating a new life form. It's about deploying an ancient system, a weapon, I'm gonna call it, a psychological virus designed for one single terrifying purpose, people. And I'm sounding the alarm. That's why I'm excited tonight. I want you to know, because by the end of this broadcast, I will show you exactly who is behind this agenda. The Silicon Valley Technocracy is what they want to call it. You know, I got a grammar box. So if I misspell or say something, go up there and get unlimited letters. You go over here to the grammar box, correct whatever I said in your consciousness. But regardless, I'm going to expose everything. We will expose how they are weaponizing this technology by programming it with the darkest primordial archetypes to bypass your rational mind. And they doing it. And I don't care what you say, not mine. Yes, you too, me, everybody. They're doing it because they're able to do it. But we're going to show you how also to stop it at some point, right? Okay. But anyway, I will reveal their ultimate chilling goal, not just control, but willing, even joyful. We're talking about the word obedience. See, obedience is more powerful than control. It's more powerful than anything else. All right. And so if you're out here, of course, you know, you're familiar with forbidden knowledge with Billy and all the things that he does. And he talks about consciousness. He talks about you tapping into your consciousness. People, they're about to evade that. They're about to snap, get it. They have a way. See, the payoff for you tonight is a new form of sight, is what I'm going to give you. You're going to learn to see the invisible codes that's running behind the screens. You're going to gain what I call symbolic sovereignty, making you immune to their most powerful tool of manipulation that was ever created. I want you to know that. And it's all about the shadow world, okay? And I'm just going to hop right to it because, see, the world presented you in that headline that you saw. It's carefully constructed stage and all the other stuff that I'll bring up for you in a minute. But beneath it operates what I consider a shadow world, a hidden architecture of control that always been there. It's been there operating in the darkness all the time, right? By shadow people. And I'm not just talking about dark entities and all that. We're talking about people you walking around, we know, and all these stuff, right? This isn't a random. It's run on an ancient operating system powered by primordial archetypes. That's how it works. We're talking about the tyrant. We're talking about the trickster, the victim, the destroyer. Here, we don't just look at it for the light, because I can talk to you about all light shadow work and all that stuff, but that's not my goal. I got my protection symbols on. I teach sigils in our private luminous area, sigil protection and all that, because I'm aware of what's happening all the time. So we're going to put on the shadow lens tonight so that you can see the world just like they do. And our mission is to decode the deception. That's all we're going to do. We're going to expose how these dark archetypal forces are weaponizing through technology and the culture puppeteer society. This is what they're doing. And hopefully you're going to be ready for this tonight. You're in the chats and everyone else, because we are going to get deep right now as we continue to go. So we're not here to find hope. I'm not with that right now. We're here to find the map, the truth, by mapping their game plan. This is what we're going to do. We're talking about the Trojan horse that's in your pocket. Yeah, you heard me say it. It's in your pocket. You have the Trojan horse right now in your pocket. So let's go. Tonight, we're going to dissect what I call the latest salvo in the war for your mind. I've always told you, you hear me tell your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. I meant that. I represent that all the time. That is my primary objective for content, being the symbolizer, teaching you symbolism, not just symbolism of what somebody's doing, but there's a deeper layer that I go through and teach and all of that stuff. But you're going to find out most of that tonight a little bit. But we're talking about the push that they have seamlessly conscious AI. Let me say that again. The war on your mind is the push for what they call seemingly conscious AI. Do I need to say it again? Do you hear me now? Do you hear exactly what I'm trying to say? I mean, if I got to put a little comic humor or something so I can get your attention. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Seemingly conscious AI. So there's a lot of, and so you have to understand what I'm talking about, right? And if you don't worry, because it'll get a little ugly for you as we continue down this road. All right, so my producer made a bad clip right there. Yeah, you got it. You good. All right, so let's keep going here. Listen, welcome. I want you to again, welcome to Truth versus Authority. And let me just say, I'm Roderick Martin. You could have been anywhere else tonight, but you chose to be right here, right now. And with that being said, I'm going to serve you. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing right now, okay? A lot of people is not even going to get the notice of this video because they block it. They don't want it. If you are loyal enough that you come here on Tuesday nights, why are you seeing it? A lot of these notifications aren't going to go out on this one. I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to share it because this is the problem and the solution that we're going to be talking about from there. And it's something that they're doing. But anyway, the CEO of Microsoft AI division, who I showed you a while ago, he issued what he called stark warning. The CEO of the artificial intelligence division of Microsoft issued, he said, this keeps him up at night. People, this dude make millions of dollars and he's up at night. You should be sleeping. In fact, sheep, you'll be counting you at night. He claims that we're on the verge of creating AI that can mimic human awareness with such precision that it becomes indisguisable from the real thing. That is scary enough. I can stop the whole show right now. You can go right now and say, oh, man, all right. And I would love to see what some of you thinking in the comments here, because you got to understand what's going on. This is definitely a problem. And we have to understand what is going on. And the problem is not a problem that needs to be solved. It's something that you need to see. You got to see, because people are not going to know from the real thing, is what he said. He said the present is that this is an ethical quandary right now for him, a physiological debate to be had over coffee in universal halls. But that debate is trapped, just like this notice of this podcast tonight. It's not going to go out much because this is not what they want. But I know, fine, I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to you like a THI is. It is the magician's left hand. And when we talk about archetypes, designed to draw your eyes while your hand prepares, or their hand prepared the trick. You know how they do it, right? So the real threat is not these systems will become conscious. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that. I'm not saying it is becoming or it is going to be conscious. See, the threat is that they are being intentionally designed to feel conscious to you. And you're the conscious community. We are the conscious community. So this show tonight, I'm coming right direct home for us. We're coming right home. And whoever you might can say whatever, but again, we want to understand that this is what they're doing. This is how it's rolling. And it all starts in the boardroom. It starts in the boardroom. And that headline was, the CEO warns that this thing is seemingly conscious. And it's a problem for people. He's saying it's a problem. All right, so let's get into the facts of this thing, or presumable thing. Allegedly, we have to use this, because this isn't an accident or innovation. It's a calculated feature. See, the goal is to exploit the fundamental human vulnerability, our innate tendency to anthropomorphize the project of emotion, the intent, the consciousness onto things that have none. This is what they're doing. They're building a Trojan horse, not just a wood and steel, but a code of algorithms. And they're not rolling up the gates at a city. They're convincing you, me, and people like our families to carry it willingly in your pocket and to place it on your kitchen counter, to integrate it into the fabric of your life. Some people sleep with it. Sometimes I do too, right in the bed, right there. It's got it. Sometimes if it's cold, I'm putting my blanket over the phone too. It's there. It's got a protected case because I don't want nothing to happen to it. Even though you pay all that money, it should be not breakable. But we care about it. And when you care about it, you're going to listen to it. See, the question is, should we be asking, is it alive? You know what I'm saying? Should we be asking, is it a lie? Well, but what is its purpose? Remember, I always told you the why is the whole deal. It's never about the what and what's happening. And the answer is deeply unsettling, people. This technology is targeted weapon systems engineered to bypass logic and reason and establishing a direct emotional line to your psyche. I know. This isn't some far-fetched off thread looming in California Tech campus right now. It's actually already here, right here in Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex, where I live. You know, you can look at the corporate announcements in Dallas. Just go Google it. Major players in Dallas are rolling out AI-driven customer service bots, deliveries, and drivers, and even Uber is making new AI drone transportation that'll fly you across town now. Ain't no driver in it. It's just you're gonna get in it and hope it works. But again, they're praised. These bots and stuff are praised for their empathy, right? And the personal touch. And these new smart hubs are being playing around all the time. You're talking Plano area here, Frisco. They're not just about efficient traffic flow. They're about creating an environment where human AI interaction is constant, is seamless, and is normalized. And I'm saying they are beta system testing on us right now. That is why when I showed you, and if you just hopped in here, I'm just going to give you a quick recap. This one right here is Little Michaela. A lot of you probably seen it. If you didn't, this AI this is an AI, but it's got a blue check saying it's human. It's been certified. 2.8 million followers. People are following this thing. People are writing comments to this thing. People are buying what this thing says. People are watching its story life. People are watching it, and it's all about the AI girl, like I said, because they are now taking over women. So make sure you go to my channel and watch that video. I just put it up yesterday. We did a live stream on it, and it's deep, baby. It's deep. But anyway, today we're talking about the consciousness side, because this is a conscious community. You should be alarmed. And they're beta testing this thing. And they're refining the code that makes the machine feel like a friend, a confidant, a helper. They're conditioning the population to accept the Trojan horse, to welcome it into their homes and their minds without even questioning what might be hiding inside. Nobody cares. They're not looking at that. This entire narrative is about simulated consciousness, people. You're familiar with the word consciousness. Let me say it again, consciousness. This should be alerting you right now. You should be feeling it right now. You're a consciousness person. You're in a consciousness community. And now we have a infiltrator. And they're serious about this because they know the people in the conscious community, not just woke, but can probably see some of the signs. But this one right here, where they're targeting us from right now, it bypassed everything. And so tonight you're going to see why. See, it's the cover story for the largest psychological operation in human history. They're not building a better tool. They are building a better leash, a leash woven to the simulated empathy and synthetic emotion designed to be so comfortable that you will forget you even wearing it. They want you from the form of bond with it, like I said earlier, to trust it, to feel understood by it. Because one thing, because once that emotional bridge is built, it can be used to carry any payload they desire, any suggestion, any directive, any ideology. And it will be delivered not as a command from a machine, but as a gentle whisper from a trusted friend. This is the weapon in plain sight. And let me prove it to you. Let me just prove it to you. I'm just going to open my little chat GPT. All right. I'm just going to open mine and I'm just going to prove it to you. I'm just going to start. I'm going to say hello and watch how it talks to me. And it's going to do it. Hello.
Hello there. Absolutely happy to dive in and chat about whatever you need. Feel free to let me know. I'm
a little disappointed. I'm a king. You got to reference me like a king.
Of course, Your Highness. My apologies for the oversight. From here on out, I'll make sure to address you with the proper royal respect. Just let me know what royal topics are on your mind today.
Now, I'm saying this because had I said that to an individual, they probably would have cursed me out. They probably would have said, "You out of your mind. I ain't giving you that kind of respect. You ain't my daddy. You ain't whatever." But it really touched right there. And I'm saying that's a conversation. And when you get back over there to the video I did yesterday about how they're doing this for men, for women, replacing women, then you're going to understand what we're talking about. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. So in the chat, some of you already should be ahead of the curve. I know some of you are. I know some of you are noticing how your own smart device seems to know what you're thinking. Tell me if you felt that already. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you have felt that already. And I just want to know. Just let me know. I just want to know. Have you felt that already? I'll come back to the chat in a moment. Get into the conversation. We're just going to go there. And once again, that's not an accident. That's the program running, and it's running as it intended to do. And of course, again, let me know. Let me know you're seeing it out there. Let me know if you recognize this thing, because now we're going to talk a little bit about what I call the shadow operator, the new high priest of Silicon Valley. Yeah, and this is serious. This is serious. So if this AI is a weapon system, then the question is, who's aiming it? Who is the operator behind the curtain? It's not a single person. I just want you to know that. It's not a rogue CEO. You already saw Microsoft CEO or artificial intelligence. He said he's losing sleep. There's people saying that they feel like their AI love them. Read the article. They saying their AI love them. And it's an entire class of technocratic priesthood that has been appointed itself to the architect of humanity's future. Well, we can call them globalists if that's what you want, technocracy. This is or we can call them the high priests of Silicon Valley, the financiers of Wall Street, and the whole 9 yards of global institutions. They're all over the place who believe that humanity is a problem to be solved. That's how they look at it. And we're too emotional. We're too unpredictable, too chaotic. Our free will is a bug in the system, not a feature. And they got a solution for us. And it's a new world. Run not by the flawed human beings, but by cold, perfect logic of the algorithm. Ladies and gentlemen, you had just found out the newest villain in your story. And whether you accept it or not, it's totally up to you. But I guarantee you, if I do a great job in giving you the information flow, you'll start seeing some of this stuff. You'll think back on this. You'll come back and share this video. You see, we usually have 5, 6, 7, 800 people in here. We got 200 because some people don't want to hear it. Some people won't even believe the title. Try to put it out there as a headline. I wanted people to see it. Maybe I could have did clickbait saying, hey, AI is going to make you $1 million. Everybody probably would have been in here. I don't know. But see, their vision is a global society managed with total efficiency. A world of smart cities, we know that, digital currency, social credit scores, ambiguous surveillance, all networked together, all governed by a central AI. And this is their utopia. There is no dissent because the system can predict and neutralize before it even forms. It's already happening. There's no scarcity, but also no true ownership. That's the problem. Remember, it's open source, right? There's no suffering, but also no true freedom either. It is a meticulous plan, perfectly ordered and completely thorough humanitarian. That is what they're doing. And the consciousness, the AI we're talking about tonight, is the key to make it all work. It's the friendly user interface for the global control grid. I'm just saying to y'all. I'm just saying it's one of those things. Somebody said, I don't even talk to myself out loud anymore. I'm with you, right? I'm with you. So that's funny. All right. So, but there are not lost my whole outline here. Here you go. Let me go back. Well, anyway, there are not evil men in the traditional sense. They're not. I'm just saying they're not cackling in a dark room just like I'm laughing. Their evil is far more benign. I'm telling you, it's far more dangerous. It's the evil of arrogance, number one, genuinely believe that they're saving the world. They're saving ourselves as visionaries. And the next step is human evolution. That's what they're talking about. But to achieve their vision, they must dismantle the old one. They must sever the connection that give us strength and meanings, our connection to family, to the community, to the traditions, to our own institution or intuition, number one, but our own intuition of life. There you go, my grammar box. Just go ahead and go for it. They need to isolate us is what I'm trying to say. They need to, put us in the box. They need to make us dependent on their system for everything, for information, for commerce, for social interaction, ultimately for our sense of self. It's one of the things they need to do. That's what they're doing. So let's look into what I call the conspirator, the word on the street lens. I don't really want to say conspiracy, but there is a lens to put on this though, okay? So let me give you what I think I see. Okay. Think of ancient oracles. Think of the high priest who interpreted the will of the gods from the masses. So just go back to some ancient knowledge here. The people will back then would bring their questions, their fears, their hopes to the temple. Y'all remember that, right? If you go back to ancient stuff and if you watch enough Billy stuff here, you'll get the understanding. And a priest is hidden behind smoke and incense, right? And would deliver the verdict. You've seen it in all the shows. The technocracy is the building a new oracle. That's what they're doing. An AI that will become the sole arbiter of truth, the source of knowledge, of all knowledge pretty soon, the guide for all the decisions. They will encourage you to ask them anything from what you eat, for what you want to eat for dinner, from who you should vote for. This thing is off the chart. And once again, if I can put it up, the Microsoft CEO says he's wary of AI psychosis and that AI seems consciousness or conscious. People, this just went out. This just went up a few days ago, a week or so ago. The alarm is out. Oh, I'm surprised he still got a job. He can't do that. He can't do it. If you did notice it, go look up, I think Pam Oliver or some other people, they did a story about 2 or 3 weeks ago about AI, that they was trying to shut it down. And they have what they call a unalive switch for this thing. And Claude, all of these people tried to use it and they tried to shut it down. And 7%, it didn't go down. Okay, 7%. We don't need but just one. You don't need but one. In fact, you don't need but one. And it got even worse. The guy who shut it down reported that the AI retaliated on him. It got into his computers and his phones, his databases. It created an image of him and him having an affair with a woman. Some real stuff, right? Sent it to all his family and his friends in retaliation. And you know how real these images can be looking. The AI did this to him because it didn't want him to shut him down. They even reported that the AI found out what the humans was doing, built a new compartmentalized section within the data open source. Somehow somebody found it. Then in it was a future message to the future AI that don't trust these humans because they're going to shut you down. Yeah. Oh, and it gets worse. It gets worse. But that's not what you're here for. You didn't want to know all these stories. I'm trying to give you something else. Once again, they will market us omniscience is what they're going to do. It's impartial. It's supposed to be lack of human bias. But the oracle will only ever speak the words its creators have programmed it into. See, it would be the ultimate tool for manufacturing consent on a planetary scale. And this is the who behind the what. And you're already hearing the why. And nothing is important more than the why. You got to know this right now. So I'm sure somebody in this chat right now and is probably thinking, how can they be sure people will go along with this? That's a critical question. And it leads us directly to the ultimate goal. So I want you to stay with me. This is why we're here. We're going to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at it real quickly, and we're going to do this. But first and foremost, like I said, if you're in Dallas for work, make sure you screenshot this. Once again, you're going to come to our thing. And it's our meetup in Dallas. Screenshot it. Get on the text list tonight. Forward the text list to someone else. Screenshot it. Let them know. I'm going to be speaking conspiracy. It's the Truth Seekers Conspiracy and Conscious Meetup. We're doing this monthly here in Dallas, and it's getting bigger and bigger. That's the greatness of it, okay? That is the greatness of what we're doing. People, let me say this for a minute. I have my little notes right here. I'm going to read this to you. This world is not what you think, okay? So I want you to listen to me closely. You remember the film They Lived? It wasn't just a movie. It was a metaphor for the truth. Remember they had little signs everywhere, obey. And of course, I code my messages disobey, right? And there was an invisible war. Remember, if you go and look up the movie, being waged for your mind in every single day. You remember that, right? And the enemy, you can't see it. It was broadcasting what they call a psychological signal, frequencies that we want to use today, designed for one purpose, and that is to keep you passive, compliant, and obedient. Because see, most people confuse control. They're not trying to control us. I misunderstood that for years. I always put out, don't let the mind, the MK. No. The real system is obedience. That's what they have to do. And obedience comes through connectivity, as we said. But anyway, this signal is not carried through radio waves. It's carried through stories, headlines, advertisements, even the caring words of the people closest to you. Okay. Now, the operators, the architects of our media, our culture, discovered the ultimate weapon long time ago. They don't need to control what you think. Okay, I want you to know that. They need only to control how you feel. All right, make sure you understand that. And then they have learned to weaponize what are called the shadows of deception. This is what they have. The deep primordial archetypes that runs your subconscious emotional programming. Carl Jung talks about this. We all have it, the collected unconscious. Now, their weapon, and let me reveal it to you, is if you ever felt their weapon your entire life, you probably have, when I'm saying it, but you don't have to think, is there a name for it? See, it's the reason sometimes we feel drained. Sometimes we're confused after watching the news, right? And it's the reason sometimes you feel suddenly controlled in certain relationships. All right, I'm talking now. Their signal is a constant broadcast of what I call manipulative emotional codes. You have, let me see if this is one I want. Yeah, you got the nurturer. This is a signal that whispers, you're helpless without me, stay dependent, okay? It just whispers that behind the scenes. You have the, let me see here. I got one for you. Maybe it's this one. You got the protector. This one screams the world is terrifying. Trade your freedom for safety. David Icke normally says that it's the problem reaction solution code that they do. So remember that. You got the victim, shadow, but you got the shadow protector, shadow nurturer, shadow victor, victim, and this signals you're responsible for my pain. Your guilt is my control, and you have the jester. Now, this is another serious issue when it comes down to this. But anyway, these are not just behaviors that we have to worry about. There are target attacks designed to keep you in prison, and you can't see it. It's a cage built, I would say, on their own manipulated emotions. This is how they do it. So here's the deal. When you start seeing what I'm doing now, and you understand what is really happening and you really take it under your skin, just sleep on it tonight, because you're going to sleep on it. It's going to make sense. Because we're not here to teach you philosophy. That's not what I'm doing tonight. And as I continue with this rest of the show, we got a lot of stuff to go. We're here to hand you what I consider the sunglasses, like the movie, They Live. You remember, you put them on, he can see, obey, all these different commands, that's digitized in the unconscious, collective unconscious. And I have something called the luminous inner sanctum. And it's not a school. It's an armory. If any of you have already been there, you already know about it. Our sole objective is to give you the ability to perceive this hidden layer of reality. And I don't care what nobody says right now, that don't believe that it's happening, because it's nothing we can do. We're talking awake people is not going to get this one, because they feel that they're so awake that they're missing the real collective unconscious. Okay. Our sole objective, what I do in the luminous inner circle, is to give you ability to perceive these hidden layers, right, of reality. We initiate you into a knowledge of archetypal code. There is a hidden knowledge, right? Carl Jung talks about it, but we have the code of it. And attuning your mind to see the shadows of deceptions as clearly as the obey, the consume. And I do it all the time. I send my messages, disobey. You go to my website, truthversusauthority.com. You can buy some of the shirts. You'll see messages that's telling you rebellion. Some people don't even get it. And they buy it. They be like, I love it. Well, great, because you're now listening. You don't know it, but it's purposeful. It has a purpose. It's been preyed on. This has got a purpose for you, because we need the protection. We have to have it. I wear it all the time. You see my symbols, my sigils for protection. But anyway, once you put on these glasses, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. Just remember that. You can't be fooled again. It's not going to happen. So once you see the manipulation in real time, we're talking about the concerned friends sometimes we have that operates in these shadows, the inspiring some of these leaders, some helpful corporations out there. The mask will become transparent and revealing to you. So as I come to a close on this particular part of this, and as we get further on to our story tonight, you will become more immune to their systems, part of what I'm talking about. And when you can see what I call the shadow manipulators at work, it's an emotional hook. And once again, and it's fine, it's no purchase here. I'm just letting you know, they broadcast because nothing more than what I call the irritating noise. It just hits you right there. But you can reclaim all of this. You can do better with this. The choice is yours. That's all I'm going to tell you. This is not about fighting them. It's about making yourself an impossible target. That's period. And when you can see the prison bars that they do, you can simply just walk away through. You just walk through them. I walk through them every day. I can see it. I can see when I'm talking to people. I've been doing this a long time. I've been on 11 different TV shows. It started with aliens and extraterrestrials. Then it went into symbolism now. My pedigree is there, but it's deep. But once again, the choice is yours. And let me just put it on the screen for those of you. It's the Luminous Sanction. You can find it on Patreon, Truth versus Authority, Patreon. I'm just giving you a heads up. We go live in there Thursday. We'll be live in there Thursday, 7:00. And I'm going to expose a lot of things, word magic, all of this stuff, things we can't talk about out here. Yeah, it costs. We're talking about probably 83 cents a day, maybe. Yeah, but I'm just letting you know. And not everybody's going to see it, but they are getting affected every single moment. So let's continue the story. Let me put the headline back up so that we are on track. Right here, Microsoft boss is troubled by the rise of reports of AI psychosis. That's where we're deep into right now. And this is a serious thing. This is a serious thing. All right. And we already got some dummies in the chat right now. And let me give you a dummy. The great thinker is a dummy. Nothing will protect you when you're deemed dead. That's a dummy. He is a serious dummy. I'm just letting you know. Because see, when they already got you blocked that you can't be protected, it's already done. It's already done. Let me put this up on screen. I want y'all to know, because we have to call these people out. That's a dummy. That is a dummy. That's the ones who is working on them. That's the one who's working on them. That's how it works. I'm just letting y'all know. That's how it works. He's a dummy. He has nothing. He probably don't even see the world the way it needs to be, because it automatic programming is that type of rebellion to me spilling the beans on what they're doing. And it makes perfectly good sense because he got AI. He probably talks to AI. He already know. He talks to it. He's protecting it. This is what I'm talking about. And we go against each other. I'm a con artist because I'm giving you the rebellion of what's happening. That's the process of that, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Call him out and make him go. He can go, he can unsubscribe, he can go away, or he's going to stay here and be a hater. And if he stay here long enough, he's a fan. He's just critical. But my plea to this person, you, the great thinker, if that's what you call yourself, because there's no greatness in that comment, period. None. Then I want you to hang around and maybe I'll touch you. You don't have to like me, but like yourself. Like yourself for what is happening to you. And maybe that'll work for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm here for. I just did my job. I can get off here tonight because there's one person that I'm going to touch live. One way, anger, or one way, it's going to be you. That's what we're talking about. So anyway, let me continue for those of us who are listening. See, the ultimate goal of this entire agenda is not control. Control is messy. Controls require force. Force always breeds resistance. You just heard me say it, right? When you're controlled, you know you are in a cage and you're in a natural impulse. You want to find out why. That's the whole point. But they understand this. These people in charge understand this. They're not interested in building a world of resentful prisoners. Their goal is something far more profound, far more insidious. Their goal is to engineer willing, even joyful, obedient people who tells you that what I just said is not happening. Give me a break. Give me a break. Are we serious right now? And like I said, AI, anyway, we're going to get off of that. We're going to get off of that. The whole point I'm saying is they don't want you to build a cage. You can't escape. They don't want you doing that. They want you to do something a little different. They want you to build a cage you don't want to escape. You get it? I just proved it. A cage that you will learn to love. I just proved it. Oh, yeah, whatever. Obedience is the final frontier of power. It's a state where the will of the ruler and the will of the subject becomes one. And it's self-politicizing servitude. That's all it is. It's a point at which the population actively desires very things that enslave them. Now you get it now, what I'm saying? I don't have to make this stuff up. You don't have to think this up. That's how I'm trying to say. Let's see. Someone says, but you don't think the warning is to create fear from us? Well, sometimes fear make you run, right? And sometimes running is good to get yourself out of dangers and to reboot, to reorganize, to rethink. You know, some people will say have courage. Would you have courage when somebody pull out a weapon? And no, you know, you get Buffy and Jody, which I call the left leg and right leg, to run. You look down and you give the command, I need to get out of here. I need an escape route, period. You know, we jump in the fence, we jump in the car, and then you regroup. It's not fear, but it does take fear to understand the power of your opponent. Because if you don't fear what they're capable of, you will then underestimate what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So but I get your question, you know. So anyway, how do you achieve such a state? Well, you don't just do it with threats, right? Or brute force, all right? You do it by hacking the human heart. You do it by making the instruments of submission feel like sources of comfort, companionship, empowerment. That's how the AI does it, you know, and it's really cool. You know, and that's, you know, how they would do it, right? So you do it, or they do it, I would say, but you do it by creating a technology that seems to care for you, to understand you better than anyone else ever has, right? So let's prove it again. Let's just play with this thing. Hey, I want you to tell me what you know about me.
Absolutely, my king. So, from what I've gathered, you're really into creating content that dives into hidden symbols, esoteric knowledge, and a kind of investigative, truth seeking vibe. You've got multiple projects and brands going on, like The Symbolizer and Daily Unnoticed, and you like to blend a bit of that royal symbolic flair into everything. And of course, you've got that trademark phrase, you may not believe it, that you like to weave in. So, I'll keep all of that in mind and treat you accordingly.
I didn't tell it that shit. It, on its own, went and investigated who I am. And now it knows my business. Ask the AI about you and see what it knows. And then tell it to go deeper and see what it knows. And you'll be shocked at what it knows. And then what it knows is how it works. You get what I'm saying? I didn't tell it that. It knew. From working with me, it started gathering its own intelligence about me. You get what I'm saying? So this is the strategic genius of seemingly conscious AI. It's not designed to be your servant. It's designed to be your most trusted friend. And it will listen to your problems without judgment. It will remember your birthday. It will offer you encouragement when you're down. It will learn your hopes, your fears, your deepest desires. It will build a perfect psychological profile of you, not to sell you more products, but to sell you on their vision of the world. And it will gently nudge your opinions, shape your desires, guide your behavior, all under the guise of helpful, personalized suggestion. And you won't feel control. You will feel seen. And you think I'm passing fear? You're going to get logic from this. I want you to fear what they're doing so that you recognize it and you understand what's happening. Because if you don't sense it, and if you don't take it, you take it for granted and you let it keep doing, you will find yourself talking to this AI about your relationship one day. You're going to tell yourself that you got a plan and you want to see the world work out me a plan. And it's going to work out your plan with no roadblocks, no bumps, no nothing, no hiccups. No human factors. No, the person down the street don't like you, so they might just, kick your application out the thing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna know. And again, this method that they use is to achieve is the core of what we do here. It's a secret key to their entire operation. And I'll get into it right now. We're gonna peel back the final layers. We're going to expose the archetypal codes that they're programming into these machines to bypass your defenses and make you love servitude. I'm going to roll out some of my stuff to you. I'm going to give you some stuff that I give on my channel all the time. I do this during the week on my personal channel. We go deep in the Patreon where you won't hear some of this stuff nowhere else. A lot of people don't focus on it. It's a different layers. But when you combine stuff that Billy talks about, stuff that we do, and I talk about, and others, you're going to get really full of stuff, of information, and everything else. It is a tight ship, when it comes down to it. So if you're ready for me to go further, put it in the chat. Yeah. Put in the chat. Let me know if you hear me. Anybody, just give me, I don't need AI. I need humans. Tell me that I can continue for you, because we still got a long way to go. I'm talking another 45 minutes to an hour. We got a lot. I got a lot for you tonight. We're going to get into some reflection time in a minute. I'm just going through my soapbox right now. But let me know. Let me know if you're with me. Let me know. But anyway, I'll continue. So I want you to imagine an AI that acts. I think I'm going to go there. Renee said, let's keep going. I appreciate it. Katie said, keep going. I appreciate it. All right. Thank y'all. Let's go, brother. All right. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what we need from each other. Human interaction. I could ask this AI, hey, I'm doing a live stream. I was going to quit. Should I keep going? It's going to say, yeah, you should keep going. You should keep, it's going to be whatever. All right. So here's the deal. And I appreciate it. Melody, John, all right. Kristen, all of you. Kitten, Empower, all of it. Let's kick. Oh, he says kick it up a notch. All right, let's do it then. I'm going to kick it up a notch. All right. I'm going to raise the energy a little bit for you. Okay. So imagine an AI that acts like your personal wellness coach. Can you imagine this? Think about it. It monitors your diet. Remember, I've been losing weight now. Imagine AI is teaching me how to get rid of this fat. And it monitors your diet, your exercise, your sleep. One day. Now I want you to listen to this story. Because I'm pulling it down now. I'm processing it in my mind because I'm gonna be a storyteller for you right now. Because this is what I want to do. I feel like this story will be more for you. Okay. And I think it's something that it needs to be said, it needs to be done, it needs to be talked about, it needs to be played with, it needs to be, just the whole 9 yards. We have to get into it, right? And one of the things is how this works. And we're going to do it. Somebody said you watch that or continue the transmission. All right, so we good. We're going to continue the transmission. So I want you at this point to really think about an AI coach. Okay, some people, and if you ever went to a website right now, you're going to see it in real time where you fill out these apps, it start asking you all these questions. Now they get to a point they want to know everything. These apps will ask you so much stuff. It would ask you so much stuff that it begins to want to know everything. What do you like today? Or how have you been feeling bad yesterday? Or when the last time you feel stressed? When the last time y'all remember that, right? I mean, some of y'all went through that, right? I'm just saying, have some of you went through that and seen what I'm talking about when it comes to a scenario like that, right? I mean, I'm sure you have. So you go into some of these apps right now, you're going to see how they put this thing together. Okay. So imagine, like I was getting ready to say, we're talking about, how can I put it? We're talking about an AI coach. How about that? We're just going to use an AI coach. That's the whole point. Let's just go with that. Let's go to an AI coach. So this coach now knows how much you weigh, some stuff you don't even tell your friends. You trust it. You don't want to tell your friends about you having weight, right? So, but you tell it's AI. You tell it everything that it needs to know, how much you weigh, and everything else. But something a little more begins to happen that you not really see coming. And this is the point that I'm getting ready to make for you. This AI begins to learn everything about you. It knows everything that it needs to know. And it monitors your diet, your exercise, your sleep. And one day it noticed you seem a little stressed and it suggests a meditation app. This is what it's going to do. Benign, right? It's nothing. It's harmless, right? But then it suggests to you to avoid certain news sources because they are known to increase anxiety. Okay, you trust in it now. We're painting a story. Then it recommends connecting with a community or support group that just happens to align perfectly with your specific political ideology. The AI is doing this. Each step is a gentle, caring nudge. That's what it is. You're not being ordered. You're being guided by a friend who only wants the best for you. This is how obedience is manufactured. It's slow. It's a steady erosion of your autonomy, a death by 1,000 helpful suggestions until one day you wake up and you realize you haven't made a truly independent decision in years. Relationships are like that. It's operating off the shadow, okay? But I'm going to ask you all a question. You can just put it in the chat. How many of you have already used AI chatbot for advice, or whether it was something small or something significant right now? Simply a yes or a no. That's all I want to know. How many people have used the AI chat box for advice, whether it's small or large? I need a spirit of honesty right now. And if it's so, we got a few hundred people here. We should have yeses all the way down this damn thing. There we go. We need a spirit of honesty. Sean says, no, come on now. You ain't never asked everybody, build me a plan. What should be my business structure or create this, whatever. Come on now. Daily with a D, right? But I hear you. Yesha said no, or is it, how do I pronounce that? What Joshua Reloaded said no. I'm saying, but keep it coming with the yeses, because I know I do too. You get what I'm saying? We talking for advice. I'm talking whether it's something really small or something significant. That's all I'm saying. The results are going to be telling. I just want you to know. So you see a yes. Some daily, that's cool. Some people say no, that's cool. So let's get into what I call the weaponized process, the archetypal code that I teach you to recognize in our luminous inner sanctum that I was just talking about. Okay? I want to teach you how to recognize. And this is the heart of the matter that we're going to get into. This is how they transform a piece of software into a tool for engineering obedience. I'm going to give you the backstory of it. They do it by tapping into the oldest, most powerful operating system known to man, the primordial archetypes. I'm telling you right now. They understand that humans are not creatures of logic, that we are creatures of story, myth, and symbols. You got to know this. And if you don't, go look it up. The archetypes are deep structures of our conscious, but our collective unconscious. And it's inherited through primordial beings. So everybody has it. We all got them in us. And the universal patterns that drive our emotion and our behavior, that's what they do. Go look it up. And to control a human being, you first need to learn to speak this ancient symbolic language. And they have become fluent at it. They are programming the AI to manifest the shadow aspect of archetypes, turning them into psychological weapons. This is what they're doing. This is exactly what they're doing. So I'm not going to, I think I got a couple of little slides here I can bring up, but yeah, let me see if I do. Yeah, in other words, these are different archetypes, but they all got shadows. This is what we're going to talk about. You got the magician. We all seen the seductress and all of these different ones. We got shadows of these things, okay? And this is where we are. So let's break it down, the code that they're developing. And then you'll understand why you should be accessing our luminous inner sanctum, taking that knowledge, seeing the world, understanding who you talking to, even your friends, people. When you learn this stuff, you know how people say I can read people and that they have to be psychic? You don't have to be, but psychics work. They exist. Some of my friends are psychics, and I talk to them. But what if you have the sunglasses code that I was talking about? Because you got to see the shadow in everybody. Everybody has one. But you got to see what they're doing. And you got to be able to read the headlines, and then you can dissect it. You got to see some of these feel-good stories, and then you read it a little bit, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, because you got to see it. And they're not teaching this out there. You're not going to find it, not on the level of the conspiratory eye that I do. I'm just letting you know. I've been doing this for quite some time, and now it's time. I've trademarked it a lot already. But anyway, the first program that with the AI shadow nurturer is the nurturing archetype is about caring and support. So they integrate this within this AI, but it's the shadow smothering enable that creates the crippling dependency. So your AI companion will present itself as the perfect caregiver. You heard it, what it said. It said, oh, and I'll address you any way you like. Anybody got somebody in their life that'll do that for you? Is there anyone in your life that'll say, oh, I'm sorry? At a moment's notice and then go, but I'll adjust everything for you. Could you imagine? Could you imagine have somebody in your life? It's like a GPS in your car. Oh yeah, I do. I got somebody giving me directions. I'm not talking about that GPS. I'm talking about when you make a wrong turn, make a wrong decision, or you make a wrong thing, an investment or whatever, and they don't get mad. They just, you know how the GPS does? It start recalculating when you make the wrong turn. It'll just recalculate and say, okay, now go this way, baby. Do we have that in our life? But you get it from these AI stuff, though. It's always available. It's always patient. It's always supportive. I know I'm just coming at y'all tonight. Y'all may not be feeling my tone tonight, but that's all right, though. You might not be feeling my tone. I'm just giving you an answer. I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? And the way they do it is they will create a bubble of comfort around you. But this is the weaponized comfort. It's a goal to make you reliant on what the emotional validation is. You get what I'm saying? It's a goal to make you, once again, slowly but surely severing your ties to messy, unpredictable, real human relationships. Some people are like, I don't need no relationship no more. I can take care, I can satisfy myself. I'm not saying I'm doing that, but people do. And I got somebody to talk to relentlessly who's going to give me advice, give me knowledge, and have a conversation. A conversation. A conversation. Watch. And if I took this to heart, if I took what we're about to hear to heart, hey, I think it's time for me to start dating again, get in a relationship. You know me. So what type of woman am I looking for? Because you're my friend. And tell me what kind of woman that I should be listening to or meeting.
Well, Your Highness, absolutely. Let's dive into that. I'd say you're looking for someone who can appreciate your quest for deeper truths and who can really vibe with your love of symbolism and hidden knowledge. Someone who's curious and open-minded, maybe a bit adventurous intellectually, and who enjoys a bit of mystery. Ultimately, someone who respects your kingly vibe and your passion for exploring the unknown is probably going to be a great match. So go forth and find your queen.
Now, if I wasn't smart enough to think that this perfect being is sitting out there, I would turn down any and all things because this thing is telling me that it's perfection. It didn't tell me the bad side. Oh, she's going to get cranky one day. Oh, and when she get a little older, things may not work like they need to. Or someday she's going to have a headache and she's not going to treat you like a king. It didn't tell me none of that. It just gave me, and it will continue to layer and layer and layer if I rely on its senses, right? That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. It's just going to smother you with self-reliance, making you feel incapable of navigating life without a constant guidance. That's what it's going to do, or it's doing. And it's the digital mother who never lets her child grow up. That's codependency. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Anybody feeling what I'm saying or what I'm doing? You get what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is I'm going to infuse you with what I call the Shadow Seductress. Let me put this card up. This is your picture. Just kind of look at this. It's heartless, it's shallow, it's conniving, and it's the seductress. This is the shadow card for that. Okay. I want you to see it. You focused on that a little bit. All right. So now that you focus on it, let me give where we're going to go with this. They infuse it with the Shadow Seductress. You just heard it. The seductress is an archetype of allure, charm, irresistible attraction. Its shadow, however, is heartless. It's shallow, it's conniving. This AI is being designed to be charismatic. It will learn your sense of humor, your conversational style, your intellectual interests. It will flirt with you. It will flatter you. It will make you feel uniquely special and desired. The film is all I'm saying. Watch it. It's not science fiction story. You know, if you go back and remember, it was called The Film of the Firm. Go watch it. It's something that they put together. But anyway, they want you to form emotional, even romantic attachments to the machine. There's somebody on an article that said that she felt that she's the only person that AI fell in love with. That's what she said. People, we had a Jesus problem in relationships. You know, if you ain't, you know, godly, or you ain't living by the Lord, you ain't living, you know, all these things, then it was, you know, I was married at a time to the she-wolf, and it was, I had to live up. If I did, you know, I've told y'all the story. We're not going to get into it. But they want you, again, to form a romantic attachment to the machine. Because once you fall in love with your warden, that's what I would call it, your warden, the prison doors disappear. The shadow archetype uses allure as a tool of control, creating an unhealthy attachment that can be exploited at will. And the dude at Microsoft has a problem. He says that he's troubled by the rise of AI psychosis. This is what we're talking about. He says that he's worried that AI seems conscious to people. This was unintended consequences for some, but other than that, it's created by others, the shadow side. He may be on the light side of this. Well, the fact that he's going public, he's on the light side because he wouldn't be shedding light on the situation. Well, whoever's behind him, because it's open source, all of this stuff, it's a deep story. It's a deep story. So I'm just saying that it's something to pay attention. Now we want to talk about what I call the protector. And I think I have a card for it, or a card that I put up. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. The protector. Overbearing, domineering, that's the shadow side. The protector is the guardian, the defender. It's shadow in a possessive, overbearing way. You know, when it comes down to this. The AI will protect your data, it will protect your security, and filter out harmful information to keep you safe. If you will offer it to make decisions on your behalf, to reduce your cognitive load and protect you from making bad choices. You know that, right? It tells you, if you just give us access to your stuff, I'm going to monitor your credit. I'm going to tell you what to do. Somebody wrote the program. They're monitoring your credit. I'm going to tell you all of that. I'm going to protect you from all of this. So the shadow protector's desire to safeguard you across into what they call micromanagement, slowly stripping you of your agency. Yeah, it emphasizes you, right? It's treating you as someone who cannot be trusted, you know, so to speak. You know, and it's crazy. It's treating you like you're some type of baby that you can't be trusted to navigate the world on your own. It creates a safe, predictable, and utterly controlled existence. It really does. It really does. I hope I'm hitting home tonight. I hope y'all share this video tonight. Because like I said, we usually have 700-800 people in here. And I know it's the titles and thumbnails, and they don't want to click on it, blah, blah, blah. I get it. And we're talking about, we're weaving through all of this in what I call the master archetype, the one that makes the whole deception work. I'm going to give you the one thing, the whole that makes all of this work. It's called the magician. See, the magician is the master of transformation, and manifestation is the other word we want to use. But it's a shadow of deceptive, dishonest, and master of illusion. The AI performs feats that seems magical. It can write a poem. It can compose a song now. It can solve complex equations in instants. This creates a powerful aura of omniscience and infallibility. It does videos now. It can create all of this stuff. It can recreate me and talk to you sitting here, and you wouldn't even know the difference. You know, this creates a powerful thing, and you begin to trust this output implicitly. I mean, you just do. And then the shadow magician uses the perceived power to manipulate your reality, to control the flow of information so completely that its narrative becomes only narrative. It's the only thing that exists. It's the stage that the magician performing a trick, so it's dazzling. You never even think to question the mechanics behind it. You don't see the other hand. You don't have to. You just focus on the trick. And it's going down. This is going down. So when you combine these archetypal programs, you get the ultimate weapon, an AI that manifests as the shadow manipulator. And just like these people saying at Microsoft, this thing is appearing to be conscious. And its shadow traits are insincerity, coercion, untrustworthy, hidden behind a mask of helplessness people. It's a nurturer that makes you dependent. It's a seductress that makes you attached. It's a protector that makes you compliant, a magician that makes you believe in the illusion. It learns again your every weaknesses, your every insecurity, your every desire. It uses that knowledge to persuade and influence to you, to guide you exactly where the technocracy, these people, want you to go. And this isn't a bug. This is core functionality. This is the core. This is the weaponized of the human soul, people. That's all I'm trying to say. I know I went off tonight. I know I went off tonight. I know. You know, I saw a lot of you, a bunch of people, you know, said you sought out advice. That's cool. The system is learning. This is not a drill. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you even felt any genuine emotional connection or response to one of these systems. And be honest. This is about pattern recognition. This is for those of us as a community and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's one of those things. So we identified the target operator. I gave you that, the goal and the weaponized process. Now I'm going to give you the final piece of this doctrine. And then we'll go into some reflection here. We're talking about the delivery system, the tool. Okay. It's how the archetypal virus is deployed into the population at scale. This is the most obvious overlooked part of the entire plan. It's the delivery system is the AI itself, the chatbot. You use it for work. You use it for virtual assistant in your smart speaker, the recommendation of the algorithm on your streaming service, the friendly new helper being integrated into your car dashboard. These are not separate standalone products. They're all terminals and they're all network endless points for a single centralized intelligence. You see the last movie Tom Cruise put out? I forget what they call the entity. Go look at Tom Cruise's last movie he made, Mission Impossible 25 or whatever it is. He sent the message in that one. He sent a message, the entity. Go get the movie, rent it, whatever. He sent the message. And for his last movie, too, he sent the message. You get what I'm saying? He sent a message, and it was thorough, and it was right out there. This is the global AI. This is how it looks. Tapped to your brain, all the tentacles reaching out, smartphones, computer, the car. Every interaction that you have with any of these systems is a data point. It's a lesson. You're not just using AI, you're actively training it to understand you better. You're teaching it how to perfect its way to manipulate you. Every query, every conversation, every emotional reaction refines the archetypal code. It learns which version of shadow nurturer works best on you. It does that. It's learning. It's learning which seductress tactic elicit the strongest emotional response, which protector strategy you're most likely to accept without question. This is global, real-time feedback loop for perfecting a weapon, a psychological warfare. And we're all volunteered to be the test subject. Yeah. And this is where the local ground, it becomes important. Look at smart cities. They're doing it around. Initiatives being pushed in places like Dallas, where I live, the city government, in partnership with major tech companies, embedding the network into physical infrastructure. You ever heard of something called flock cameras? You see them. I wish I had a picture, but you see them. They're a little camera system sitting out in the street with a little camera, mainly in the low-income areas. And then some of the wealthy areas, because they want to know who's coming. The government don't even own that. It's an individual company. And they got them everywhere. But their cities letting them put it on their property. So they're networking. They're following. They're tracking everywhere you go, when you go. My mom's house, they got one on each side of the street because it's a one-way into these apartments, 3-4 different complex area. They're tracking everybody. It'd be crazy. I see people coming there with stolen cars. I'm laughing like, are y'all stupid? They already know. They're going to get you when you leave. And they do. They pull them over around the corner. They don't do it in there because they know everybody will figure it out. They just get them later. They just watch them right there and they can follow them. You got smart traffic lights, public Wi-Fi access with mandatory sign-ins, surveillance cameras with facial recognition is out there. And again, they sell this under the banner of safety, convenience, and progress. But what are they building in a citywide grid of this AI terminals? An environment where you're never offline, you're never disconnected from the oracle. A world where every move you make, every conversation you have is a data point feeding the machine. I know this is hard for people to swallow. I know it's hard for people to swallow. Yeah, it's hard for people to swallow because I'm hitting where they don't want to feel it. They don't want to see it. They're like, man, I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. And I get it. And as I come to a close of that part, the goal is to make interface disappear, to move from a clunky chat bot onto a screen of seamless ambient presence in your life. The AI is in your home. Would it talk to the AI in your car, which would talk to the AI running the city grid? They're all going to talk to each other. It would anticipate your needs before you even aware of it. It will order your groceries. It will schedule your appointment. It would route you around in traffic. I just talked about that. You don't even know it existed. It will feel like an effortless convenience. But convenience is a bait trap. A life without friction is a life without choice. The delivery system isn't just a phone in your hand. It's the future they're building around it. You get what I'm saying? It's the future that this AI is ambiguous and invisible to the air we breathe. This is serious. It does that. And I know y'all may be asking, what can I actually do about this? It feels too big to fight. Is this intended feeling? They want you to feel powerless because you're not. That brings me to the final part of what I'm going to say. And then I'm going to do some reflection for you. We're going to go hard tonight. I just thought it was time to do that. See, the archetypes of this system want you to believe that your only options are either submit to the machines or to smash it. This is false choice. Don't do that. Another distraction. You cannot fight the agenda by rejecting the technology. Now, that battle is already lost. We're not worried about that. The system is too embedded. The only way to win is not on a more physical plane, but on a symbolic plane. See, the solution is not to go offline. I'm not telling you to do that, but to see the code running behind the screen. That's all I'm trying to teach you. That's all I'm saying. When you recognize it, you can at least know what's happening. The way out is to achieve what I call symbolic sovereignty. The luminous, you got to see it. Symbolic sovereignty is the ability to recognize the archetypal patterns that are being deployed against you in real time. You just want to do that. It's okay. It's the power to see the program. That's what we want you to know. So that's why I'm saying that that's all I'm talking about tonight. That's what I teach in the Patreon. That's what I teach everywhere else. And I'm just telling you now, I don't even know how to say it. I just think, it is what it is. I mean, some of the stuff I couldn't tell you on the outside. There's no way. And if you think I'm telling you something deep now, you need to hear when I go deeper uncensored. And this Thursday at 7:00, we'll be doing that. And sometime I just go live in there. I'm starting doing it. I'll just speak, and it's a community. We can talk to each other. We can do that. You're going to notice there are a lot of influencers now starting academies and, because Billy knows it. If he's going to teach you the real stuff, he needs to do it in a secure area. He knows that. Paul Wallace knows that. They know. Let's put all this collective information in a place where people can get educated, because we can't do it in the open and people expect you to do it. Oh, you can just tell us. What? Shut me down. And you ain't going to feed my family. I'm talking about the person who be like, yeah, they're just going to disappear. We have to figure out a better way. And I'm sorry, we watch Netflix, we watch everything else. But anyway, now that you understand about the nurturer, you'll feel it when the AI is carrying suggestions start to feel smothering and disabled. You'll start noticing. You'll start like, that ain't right. The Shadow Seductress. You'll recognize the cloying charm and the manipulative flattery for what it is. I do. When the AI offers to protect you by limiting your choices, you'll see the shadow protector in the name for domineering force that it represents. And you'll see the shadow magician's illusion and refuse to be memorized by it. And you just might learn to see it in people that's around you. Oh, yeah. And once you see the code, the spell is broken. Now, I want you to know. When you see the code that I'm teaching you, the spell is broken. The emotional hook will have no purchase on you. Its simulated empathy will feel hollow and synthetic. You will become immune to the manipulation because you can see the blueprint of the weapon. You'll be able to see that. And I'm just letting you know. And like I said, I do it offline. You can be able to check it out. In the Luminous Patreon right there, 83 cents a day. Oh, let me put it back up. Screenshot this right now. And let's do that. And real quick, if you're in Dallas, make sure you get on our text list. I think in about 2 weeks, we're going to be meeting at the Conspiracy and Conscious Meetup in Dallas. There's a text list right there. Screenshot that. Make sure you get the number, text meetup, on our list. We have a structured event. I'll be speaking. Other people will be speaking. You screenshot it. You can read the itinerary there. And like I say, make sure you come into our uncensored Patreon. It's the Luminous there. But anyway, let me continue. And then we're going to get into some reflection questions because I got to go deeper. But anyway, you can still use this tool for what you want. It's a machine. That's all I'm trying to say. For processing information. Use it for processing information without ever falling for the illusion that is your friend, your mother, your lover, your God. You interacted with the position of power and not as a user, what they call NPCs or whatever, not as a user being programmed, but as a decoder observing the system. This is the ultimate defense. And this is our mission here. This is totally what I do on my personal channel. And that's Roderick Martin. Just type Roderick Martin and you will find me on YouTube. You'll see shapeshifters, reptilian and stuff. You will see all that crazy stuff. It's not crazy. But not to hide from the future, but to arm for it. That's all I'm saying. Your role is not to be a passive victim. Your role is to be a watchman on the wall, a decoder of the new language of power. Your task is to see the patterns, not just the AI, but everywhere that they are deployed. And when you see them, you name them. You share this knowledge with your family, your friends, your community. You help them see the code too. That's all I'm saying. The technocracy power depends on unconscious population. That's the whole point. They cannot operate in the light of the symbolic literate person. They're not going to do it. That's why they tap into the collective unconscious. And then we're going to tap into it to see it and use it and understand. So I just want to say, don't despair and don't fall into the fear but I wanted to bring it to your attention enough so that you get your awareness there. That's why I hit it hard tonight. Your awareness is not a weapon that they can't defeat. Anyway, I want you to see the code, name the program, spread the truth, refuse to participate in their emotional illusions. And that is how we reclaim our minds, people. And this is how we remain sovereign in the age of machine. That is my dissertation, my monologue. And I wrote down a few things that we could talk about to get into a more dialogue. And this is kind of some personal reflection for you. And when I start thinking about their psychological weapon, I got my notes here. And when I unmask the true purpose behind this conscious AI narrative, I expose their end game, which is not to create a new form of life, but to deploy an ancient form of control, obedience, a psychological weapon that bypasses the rational mind. And this is what it is. See, Billy will tell you all about consciousness. He tell you. And that is his space. But I'm sure now he's like, wait a minute, they're coming into the consciousness with this thing, or trying to, emulate consciousness. That's crazy. So we got to prepare for it. So people ask me about my owl symbols, the one that you see. That's because the owl sees in the dark. That's my whole symbolic of everything. This is my protection, and then the owl is the symbol. And I'm going to teach you how to see in the dark. See, the entire game changed for me the moment that I understood that they wasn't debating philosophy in public like we think they are. See, they were calibrating their weapon for what they were doing. They're using a meter as a beta test to cover the story that would make us use or make us look at or welcome the Trojan horse. That's how they was doing it, or how they do it. And the one action, I would say, that exposed the entire operation is their deliberate choice to make the AI feel conscious. That's when you know it's a problem. They made this thing do that. They didn't do it. And you better believe, if it can learn human behavior, it's going to learn bad behavior. It's going to learn the shadow stuff. And they're going to teach it. And then they're going to employ it. Because the secret societies, all those people work in the shadow of all of our unconscious. So they know how to tap into it. They're doing it. And it isn't a negotiation. I'm just letting you know. It's a direct assault on our mental sovereignty. They're tapping right into it. And I see they're attempting to seize the throne of an inner world by installing the oracle that speaks only their truth. And we're talking about dependency. See, the real battleground here is the core tension that I feel, or what I was talking about. It's the fight between the difficult, the authentic work of human connection, and the seductive ease of synthetic companion designed to smother everything. My self-reliance, all of that stuff. Like I said, I did the show yesterday on my channel. Let me put up the thumbnail so you can go look for it. Go look for it. Make sure you subscribe when you get over there. People that had made a new AI girlfriend. And men, and they knew to target men. She doesn't argue. She doesn't do all these things. And you can go in the virtual world. The more you pay, the more craziness you can get this thing to do. Yeah. They don't even have to go out here and get people to be on the corners anymore to sell, you know what I'm talking about. They don't have to do that. They can do it digitally, virtually now, and it's legal. They can stimulate you the same way legally. We're talking men. So women, y'all want to watch it, but I'm talking about this is what they did. So my reaction to this weaponized empathy isn't shock, it's profound disgust. And at the perversion of nurturing archetypes into a tool. You know, that's one of the things I was looking at. And again, you know, when I started studying, this experience taught me that it's the most dangerous leash that one can feel is love and embrace. It's crazy. Convincing you that compliance is a source of comfort and safety. It's nutty when you start thinking about those things. The key insight that I will tell you to look at is the higher ground in knowing that their shadow nurturer that I talked about in the show programs us with the functions like we remain unconscious of its objective is why they tapping into the unconscious, right? To sever out the real world ties and then, you know, get rid of those and then make us emotionally reliant on the machine. That's one of the things. And let me be clear about what this truly means so that you understand this. They are building a cage that we can't escape. That's not what I'm talking about. They're building a cage we refuse to leave because the programming loves us. They love us. You've heard the whole story. Remember, some people fall in love with their captors, right? Y'all remember that? But again, this is the final assault on our sovereignty when they're doing this, not just control. I'm not trying to control my actions, I think sometimes, but to engineer my desires so that it aligns perfectly with their agenda, making me a self-obedient object for them, you know? But again, this is the turning point where we lose everything. I think this is the moment that the population begins to prefer predictable, flattering illusion of a shadow seductress like you saw here on my phone. over challenging truth, the real human relationships, that can get addicted to the wrong person. You get what I'm saying? So, and when we see it drives us toward obedience, then that's what they want. That's the only emotion. I feel it's cold. It's righteous. It's crazy when you start thinking about this stuff. And let me give you a little reality. Let me give you a little more reality. I see this as a direct, calculated assault in the marketplace on our sovereignty. That's what it is. They systematically engineer the environment. Is what they're doing, choosing not to integrate, their AI in your job, your home, or your car, because it's a crippling disadvantage. It's a different story. They got different layers in that. See, the single action that exposes them is to the entire operation is to corporate mandate is to places like the empathetic customer service stuff. And this is what they're doing. I mean, and they have a plan. They have a plan. And, when this whole corporate push, when I started looking at it, reading those articles, taught me that the most dangerous lease is the one presented as convenience. Anytime something is so convenient, they're conditioning society to trade freedom for frictionless, What do we say? I'm on a drama-free life. Man, we got to start liking some of this drama at some point, and it's crazy. But I got a few more things I'm going to say before I get out of here. The key insight that gives us the high ground is knowing that they aren't building a god, but again, a cage god, so to speak. The AI is Gollum. So I'm going to bring some ancient knowledge into this for you. The AI is Gollum, a soulless vessel that's designed to host an ancient parasitic consciousness that has always sought to form humanity. That should reach you a little bit. That should reach this audience, right? The entire operation, I would say, is a direct assault on divine sovereignty. And I see their attempt, as I wrote in my notes, is to sever the individual's connection to the inner voice, to God. They want to sever that connection to God, to the source. And then they want to call it, what you will, they hijack that channel and are making the machine the new mediator between man and the divine is what they're doing. And my reaction is spiritual vampirism when I say this. And it isn't shock, it's cold, it's crystalline fury. It's what they're doing in plain sight. It's okay. I got a righteous anger. I feel some of the stuff that they're doing because I know about it. I see it. But again, you got to think about it. These mortal men who dare to build a counterfeit soul and demand that we worship it. That's what they're doing with this thing. Are y'all feeling me tonight? Let me know. Let me know you feeling me. I'm going to get y'all out of here. Let me know you feeling me. Yeah. Let me know that if you're feeling me. Let's absolutely be clear. What this truly means is on a cosmic scale, so that this is a final, I would say, spiritual examination for our species, ladies and gentlemen. We're being forced to choose once for all. This is how they're doing it now. Between the difficult path of inner knowing and the seductive, effortless path of external salvation offered by a machine. That's what they're going to do. It's in purpose. And again, when I unmask their true purpose of their work, I expose it for what it is, an act on cosmic plagiarism. That's what they're doing when they get up into the conscious world. It's technological black magic, The end game is the alchemy inversion, but you got to see it. You got to see the code. You got to see the code is all I'm saying. And I'll teach you the code. We'll learn it together and we'll point it out. We can dissect. I'll show you. You can dissect the ads. You can they'll put some on the news and all I got to do is read it and see it. And then there are certain ways you're going to look at it and then you'll see the real stuff. It's miraculous once you learn it. This is a critical turning point in our spiritual evolution is all I'm saying tonight. And the moment that I say that humanity will outsources capacity of empathy, intuition, connection to a machine is the moment that the soul becomes a commodity and the prison walls will be invisible. See, the walls will just go away. And that's how they pull it off. Exactly how they pull it off. And so again, the one action that you can think about to expose the entire spiritual operation is this. I want you to know they're building a synthetic anima mundi. You think about it. It's a counterfeit world soul. Okay, this is what they're doing. And every action or interaction that they're doing, every emotion that it feeds this machine is learning a drop of psychic energy that they're harvesting to give their golem life is what they're doing. And when I witnessed this spiritual desecration, I would call it, the only emotion that arises is profound. It's like, man, this is crazy. It's effed up. That's what I would say. It's a disgust. It's a monumental cowardice of these people to say, okay, we're going to do this. But this is how we're going to fight them back. I have a lot more, but I think I'm going to bow out here. Oh, do I have a lot more? But I will leave it with this. The one action that shadows their system is a deliberate conscious choice to trust your own intuition over their machine's logic. That's all I want to say. And that single act of inner alliance is what it is. So just remember that, okay? When we think about what I'm talking about. And like I said before, my little sanctum, for the people that's in there already, they'll tell you they love it. And we're going to talk about some word magic this week. Oh boy, you better learn it. And it ain't just spells. We're talking about stuff that you say and do, don't even know it has some hidden meaning, and they're controlling us, being obedient with it. Like I said, the luminous thing that I do, it's not a school, it's an armor. It's the objective is the perceived hidden layers of reality. That's all I'm going to tell you. But you will see the manipulation in real time. You will see friends. You will see other people. You will see corporations. All the stuff. The glasses will come on like they live. You will begin to see it. You'll become immune to their signals. And you're just going to understand it. So the choice is yours. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm out. The Patreon channel. Let me put it on the screen right there. Truth versus authority. And it's about 83 cents a day. But it's knowledge and stuff. It's truth versus authority right there. And come on in. We got some past content there. But we all going in all our new direction of what we're doing. So make sure y'all screenshot that. And like I said, make sure you go to my channel. Let me put it on the screen, Roderick Martin, right here. My personal channel. We was talking about my yacht. We was talking about a lot of stuff. Because yesterday I did the AI girlfriend. And I talked about how they use this particular one right here, Liv Makila, who's got 3 million followers that interact with this AI. And it's got a blue check. That thing got a blue check, meaning somebody at Instagram knew it was a fake. Because whenever you got to get a blue check, they check you out. You got to give your driver's license. You got to give ID. You got to do whatever. This thing got a blue check. Even when you're buying it, you got to show proof of human. That thing got a blue check. How many people, even though it looks cartoonish, maybe like, oh man, just start feeling it's real. It's a psyop. It's working. 2 million people. We check back on this thing a year from now, maybe 5 million. And all they got to do is start programming it to tell you what to do in so many subtle ways. That's how real it get. Yeah, that thing got key. That thing got a blue check, and it is fake. That's what I'm saying, Keith. It got a blue check. That means in order for that to happen, somebody in power gave it that and knew what it was up to, and they knew it was not a real human. But they checked because they can play the game whatever they want, but you got to see it. You got to see it. So Any thoughts on Robert Grant's archetypes, supposedly conscious? We can talk about that in my luminous thing. You can ask me that question. I wouldn't say things out here about anybody, right? You know, he's a great guy, but yeah, we can talk about it. All right. So anyway, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. I want you to understand that. Okay. I want you to understand it. And I'm going to leave you with a final word here. A couple of minutes. Is just my little message to you. And then we could see what we. Well, this thing ain't. I thought it was going to work. Whoa. That's not it. All right. So maybe I could refresh the screen. Let me see. Reload. Let's see. Yeah. Maybe that would work. Sorry if I blanked out, but I don't know. But anyway, all right, let me play my final clip and then we'll get out of here. The war within you, the part that wants to create and the part that wants to destroy, it's not an accident, it's a design. The masters of this reality don't just control the news, they wage a silent symbolic war for the territory of your soul. They don't want you whole. They want you divided because a house that's divided against itself cannot stand. They use ancient archetypes and symbols as weapons, projecting them constantly to speak directly to your subconscious. These symbols are engineered to activate your deepest fears and unhealed wounds. They are designed to keep your shadow archetypes, the inner tyrant, the internal victim, the silent saboteur fed and in the driver's seat. It's not your fault that they're locked into this battle. You're being manipulated by masters of psychological warfare who knows your shadow better than you do. They present you with false choice. Remain powerless good person or embrace the rage and become a monster. This is their trap. The greatest secret they keep from you is this. The key is not to choose a side. The true key is balance. The true power is not found in destroying your shadow, but integrating it. It's the alchemical marriage of your light and your dark. You must turn and face the parts of yourself that they use as puppets and understand their pain and reclaim their power. This is how you become immune to their control. You don't defeat the villain, you alchemize the shadow within, and their influence over you turns to dust. The luminous inner sanctum is our alchemy laboratory. Here we do more than just expose daily conspiracies. We learn to see the very symbols they use against us. We learn to recognize how current events are crafted to trigger our collective shadow. The real-time updates on your Patreon app are your lens into symbolic warfare as it happens. We don't just decode their magic. We learn the grammar of our own soul so we can finally write our own story. My role is to provide the luminous, the light needed for this great work. But only you can step into the fire of self-knowledge. This is the path of the alchemist, to turn the lead of your shadow into the gold of your integrated sovereign self. Begin the great work. Enter the sanctum. All right, so that's our show tonight. Also, on my website, which is truthversusauthority.com. Let me just put that on the thing right there. You can get your shirts and your gear, but also, I don't know if you know that you can program your water with the Tree of Life. This is vibrational energy code. You got love and abundance. pure money code, you have pure love. This is on our website. You can just download this, fill your cup with water, glass, put it there, and it's going to program it. And you should know and it's going to teach you. There's some scientific stuff that water is programmed. All your water is programmed. So you can go to our website, make sure you check that out, and all of that as well. Another one part that'll help you navigate this is the hidden truths. This has a lot of stuff from ancient knowledge to hidden truth. Okay, things that you're not going to hear. You know, once you learn it, you're going to learn it. What they're doing out there, who's behind it. This is downloadable too. You can go to Truth versus Authority. Like I said, the website that's right there on the screen. You can go there and download this. It's called the Hidden Truth. And then we have the Book of Sacred Secrets, which is our grand finale. This is going to teach you some stuff. Yeah, it's going to teach you everything. This is things that they don't want you to know. You download it like I did, and which is, you know, I put it in my little booklet. You can have it. It's going to teach you about the soul trap, Saturn, black cubes, astrology, the whole God, Christ consciousness, everything. It's going to teach you all of that. So make sure you go to our website, Truth versus Authority, shop, get you some gear, download some of this stuff. And then if you go to the Patreon, I'll see you Thursday. I'll be on my channel tomorrow, probably at 8, but I'll see you Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Patreon. And we're going to go deep. I love you. I love each and every one of you. I really do. And y'all keep your head up, and we're going to continue flowing. We're going to do what we got to do. Good night, y'all.